Okay, some really weird shit going on here right now. But I'll just clear that out there. Okay, I'm just going to do it this right now, and hopefully it can record it in. This is Dylan Lang on a brand new episode of the Comic Hall. My computer's going all jacked up crazy, maybe because it's been on since this morning because my son was playing stuff. So I'm just going to do this real quick and turn it off because something seems to be going on. So, see, now it just keeps shifting in and out. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. This is this week's Comic Hall, and hopefully whatever issues are plaguing us will not continue because I'm getting really tired of them. So here we go. First up, we have Detective Comics number 996, and it's written by Peter Tomasi with art by Doug Mahnke and inks by Jaime Mendoza and Mark Irwin, continuing the storyline where somebody is destroying all of Batman's people who've helped train him and worked with him, and it's a shape-shifting character, so we don't know who it is. So hopefully that'll be figured out. But gorgeous artwork by Doug Mahnke, and Peter Tomasi is one of the better writers of comics out there today. I don't know why this isn't full screen. It's acting really weird right now. Maybe it's getting buggy because they're changing things up. There we go. Now I'm back to full screen again. Who knows? I don't know. Let's just continue. Next up, we have Superman number 7, continuing Brian Michael Bendis's run on the series, with art by Ivan Reyes and Brandon Peterson, and Jason Fabak, and there are inks by Aclair Albert, and the other artist did their own inks as well. So you get a little bit of a change in a few different styles here, but you get sexy Lois Lane again. I talked about sexy Lois Lane last week. Well, here's some more sexy Lois Lane right there, taking off her outfit to show her black bra. But the thing is, their son is here, so she's like, oh, shoot. And then we also get sexy Lois Lane right here also in the tight knit skin thing. So Lois Lane is a sex symbol. Here's a woman touching her breasts for whatever reason, so whatever. But this continues the story about what happened to Jonathan from when he met with Cal's father and what happened afterwards. So continuing, good story on that. Next up, we have Hawkman number 8, written by Robert Venditti with art by Brian Hitch, and inks by Andrew Curry and Andy Owens. This has been a great series so far, and I highly recommend if you're a fan of Hawkman, or even if you're not, you should definitely check it out because it is well worth it. It's great art, great story, and very intriguing ideas coming through there right now. Wonder Woman number 62 is also up this week, written by G. Willow Wilson with art by Zermanko. So the artwork looks a little bit different than it had been previously, but it looks good. And it's an intriguing story with Aphrodite and Ares, bringing some Greek gods and goddesses to the storyline. And we're finishing up the first story arc by G. Willow Wilson, so definitely worthwhile. Check it out. These are all books that came out this week, so you can get it at your local comic book store up till Wednesday. Next up, I have the variant cover for Supergirl number 26 by Mark Andreyko and Kevin McGuire art, and inks by Sean Parsons, Scott Hanna, and Wade Von Grabadger. So I'm glad to see Kevin McGuire back on the artwork. I thought he was going to do a couple issues, and then when 25 came out, he didn't have anything to do with it. But luckily, it looks like he's been doing this next story arc, so it'll be good to see what comes of this. And Supergirl, if you're a fan of the TV show, definitely recommended to check that out as well. I also got the variant cover for Catwoman number 7, written by Joelle Jones. This is the first issue that Joelle did not draw. It's a new part of a new storyline. Elena Casagrande and Fernando Blanco are the art team. And Joelle Jones still does the writing, so it's great to see a different take on Catwoman, particularly by a female writer, and fantastic. Next up, we have Justice League Dark number 7, another really good series, continuing, written by James Tynion IV, with art by Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and inks by Raul Fernandez. It's an intriguing story. Magic is all over the place now, and different, so we're looking at that. And very interesting story coming through with that. Next up, I'm not a big fan of this, but I love the Jock artwork. I'm not a big fan of these dark Jokers that they did for Metal, but here's Batman Who Laughs #2. It's supposed to be a big part of the upcoming DC change that Scott Snyder's working on. Scott Snyder's writer. Jock is the artist. That's the main reason why I'm getting it, because I love Jock's artwork on it. So we'll see what happens. And I just like Jock's artwork, and they're going back to the story that they did for Detective a little bit in there as well, so that's good. Finally, we have Flash #62, continuing Joshua Williamson's long run on it, with art by Christian Deuce and inks by Luis Guerrero. Oh no, he's the colorist. Christian Deuce did both the inks and so like that. So continuing the Flash storyline, again, Joshua Williamson is also one of the architects of what's going to be upcoming in the DC universe over the next year or so. So keep checking that out. From Marvel, we have 2 new #1s. I don't know if I'm going to continue with them. This one I might, because I like the writer. It's Invaders #1. The Invaders was a team that was out in the 1940s, featured Captain America, Namor, Bucky, and the Human Torch, not the Johnny Storm Human Torch, but a robot Human Torch. But this is a modern-day Invaders, written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Carlos Mongo with Butch Geist. Butch Geist is a great artist as well in his own right, so I like that. But I'll see how long this goes for. But it's Captain America and Namor teaming up with the Winter Soldier and the Human Torch, who I guess they're going to bring in somehow here. But right now it's just Namor and Steve Rogers and Bucky. So we'll see where this goes. I might end up getting issue #2 just to see if I like it and continue on with it. Black Widow #1 also gets her own #1. I like the artwork on the cover here, but not a big fan of the artwork on the inside. It's written by Jen and Sylvia Soska with art by Flaviano. It's good to have a female writing team on it, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to get this. I like the Mark Waid series that he did. And if I have to, cut down stuff, this might be. I just want to get the first issue and check it out and see if I could handle it. Spider-Man #13, written by not Ryan Ottley, he's the artist. Written by Nick Spencer with art by Ryan Ottley and inks by Cliff Rathburn, continuing their storyline about J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man becoming friends and the stuff going on about that. This has actually been a pretty good run. I was actually surprised because I hated Nick Spencer's run on Captain America, but this run on Spider-Man has so far been good, bringing in a bunch of old villains that we haven't seen in a while, and he has such an eclectic rogues gallery. It's fun to see all of them. Fantastic Four #6 might finally be caught up. Finally, they had a lot of issues getting caught up, but we've had a whole bunch of issues lately just to try to get caught up. So here we are now with issue #6. Dan Slott, writer, Aaron Cooter, art. It was mainly, I think, due to the art team. Dan Slott had all these stories written already, but it was just a matter of working on it. But it's Fantastic Four is back, taking on Doctor Doom and Galactus, which is what the Fantastic Four is really known for. And so continuing with that storyline as well. From Independence, we have Middle West #3 by Scotty Young and George Corona. This has been an interesting book, a different book. Image does these different books all the time, and it's always worthwhile if you want something different than typical superhero stuff. That's a good one to go for. Mike Allred on Dick Tracy was great, and I was hoping he would do the artwork, but he's not. But he got someone who can ape his artwork, and that's Rich Tomaso, and inks by Mike Allred. So Mike did some of the inking, but Lee Allred is also writing. So his brother Lee and Mike are writing these, and it's what you expect from Dick Tracy. This is how he's supposed to look. So good on that. Finally, the last book we have this week is from Aftershock. It is Dark Arc #13, continuing Cullen Bunn's breakdown of great storyline with Wando artwork, where there were 2 arcs, Noah's Ark and the Dark Ark, which had all the demonic beasts. When Satan learned about the flooding, he convinced all the evil to get into an ark, and we're following their story about how the evil came back. So that is it. for comics, and I'm not a moment too soon because my computer's all acting up funny. So we'll see you next week. Some good stuff. Buffy is finally back in comics next week, so we'll see that new issue of that. Naomi continuing the Brian Michael Bendis reboot of the DC younger kids version is up there as well, and a few other things as well. So we're going to say goodbye now, and bye-bye.